Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Racing Bros NASCAR Podcast, Episode 9, Bristol Dirt Edition. I'm here with my co-host, Brian. Brian, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah, I don't know. We're pretty dirty over here because I think we were feeling that race.
Oh yeah, that was a great race.
You know, it might be a sin to some people for saying that, but, not us over here, Racing Bros. But someone just screamed. Okay. Someone just screamed outside, and I heard it through my headphones. I don't know if it picked it up, but I hope it did.
I can hear it.
Because I was just turning around, and I just hear someone go like, 7! And I'm like, who the fuck is 7? And she just like screamed, that lady.
Jeez,
She's still
man.
screaming. Baby, what's that? Some lady's screaming outside. Oh no. I think she's done screaming though. I don't know. She just started screaming. Wow, what a start. So I hope this picks it up. I really do. That'd be awesome. Unless if it doesn't, the people are just gonna sit there like, what? What?
Where?
Up there.
Out there?
Yeah,
Like on
somebody's.
the other side?
I don't know
Is
exactly.
she still going?
I'm nosy, I wanna see.
But after that exciting start, we're gonna get on to it. We're gonna recap the Bristol Dirt Race, what happened during the event. Some surprise finishers we had. We talked about Daniel Suarez. Then we're gonna talk about Ryan Newman, also getting in the top 5. Good run for him. We're gonna see how the track conditions were. Talk a little bit about that. Then go over how our picks went. Our favorites. And if you're watching YouTube, you'll see my girlfriend in the background blowing kisses and doing deuces. Thank God she's gone. But then we'll get into the news, and then we don't have a race to preview. This is weird. We have an off week, so
Yeah, it's incredible.
we'll bring you some off week content. Like we're gonna at least preview Martinsville next week, but we'll probably add a little something. Do we know yet? Nope.
Not at all.
We'll figure that Wednesday.
Hey, I'm sure there'll be some news to recap.
Yeah, and then we'll just be on Wednesday, be like, oh shit, because we record these on Wednesday, so then we're gonna be like, oh, we gotta do something. But we get all in that. But Brian, you want to start off with some takeaways you had from Bristol Dirt?
First things first, I thought,
I'm the realist.
especially after the race beforehand, that Truex was holding his own very well in the first stage.
He did surprisingly well. I don't know if you watched the. I don't think you watched the truck, but
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch the recap.
yeah, he was he dominated the truck.
Absolutely dominated.
Like he looked like a freaking dirt veteran out there. And then even parts of this race, he dominated too.
Yeah.
I mean, he did really good out there.
And I mean, he didn't finish the best, being in 19th, but he still had 35 playoff points at this point. So, I mean,
He should have finished top 5. He just got a flat tire
For sure.
on the last lap. So,
yeah.
but yeah, he still ran really good. And then we had surprise winner because really none of the dirt guys really were up there like they were expecting. Like
Right.
Bell and Larson crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Bowman lost his 4th gear, so he didn't really have a fast car.
Right.
And then, Chase Briscoe wasn't really up there as well. It just seemed like, And then we had Daniel Suarez, who has never raced this and literally said in the race, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, oh, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. He was leading the race. I was rooting so hard for him to win.
I was too. I was at the point where I'm like, I don't even care who wins at this point. But Suarez, man, I hope he gets there.
Bro, if Daniel Suarez won the playoffs would be broken.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
we would be fucking running through so many possibilities right now.
I mean, we would have Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, and Daniel Suarez in the playoffs.
Locked in.
That would be incredible.
Oh my
That would
god.
be- oh,
And we're
that would
only
be something else,
we would only be 7 races out of 26 in for
right?
the regular
That means
season.
another driver that you think should be there won't be there.
Yeah, that would have been so interesting if that actually happened, but fortunately it didn't. We had Joey Logano win. I'm just kidding. We're not Logano fans, but you can't say he has no talent. He's a pretty talented driver, and he's proved it on Sunday. Not really a lot of dirt experience, and still got it done. So shout out to him.
Speaking of McDowell, ended up in P12, which
See, that's pretty good for him. You know, top 15 finish. That's good for his team. You know, where they should expect to win, not like as Jeff Gordon said, they're the real deal at lap 3 of Vegas. I still can't get over that.
oh man, yeah. I mean, I think that jinxed it for him for that race, but I mean, hey, you know what? He's overperforming this year, to say the least.
Oh, he's impressive, man. But
Another big point from Bristol was the beginning of the race and Kyle Busch overheating.
oh yeah,
That little catch net that they put in there kind of messed with him.
yeah, I think they watered down the track too much as well.
Yeah.
Because it just it sucked that he was first and he kind of caked up the front. But
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty fast too.
He was. Yep,
I wish-
him and his brother, 16, 17. Not bad.
I wish he would have got up there instead of, Denny Hamlin, who talked all that trash on Twitter and then said literally before the last restart, "Oh, listen to me, TJ Majors, who are Joey Logano's spotter." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to freaking put my bumper to him." But then he goes up high.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you talking all that shit to only then 2 seconds later just go on the opposite side of the fucking track where Joey Logano was running? And plus, you ran the top the last 20 fucking laps, and you were losing time. Like I don't know how you're. Okay, it's gonna work this time, guys. It's gonna work this time. It's just magically gonna work right now. Like, put the bumper to him.
Spun it, man. Just spun it.
Just fucking send him up the fucking fence, dude. Like, I know there's Joey Logano fans out there, but send him in the fence. Like, whoever that is in front, send him to the fence. Unless it's Daniel Suarez, then there would have been a fucking outcry.
Or your
And
then there would have been an even bigger outcry.
if it was true, Kyle Busch would have probably freaking whooped his ass or something.
No, Kyle Busch would have ran back up and hit him.
Kyle Busch would have came at him with a fucking tomahawk kick and fucking dropped him in victory lane. But yeah, Denny Hamlin again. He just he doesn't perform in the biggest moments. Like that was a chance to win the inaugural fucking dirt Bristol event. That's bragging rights right there. You get the fucking cool swords that Joey Logano is fucking playing with today. But no, he just he's like, I could go top side. I gonna win. And then he didn't. He didn't even finish second. Like Stenhouse finished second. That's how much the top line sucked. You lost a position. If it wasn't for Truex losing a tire, he probably would have been fourth. But other than that, you got some more takeaways?
We had that early Bowman and Hamlin contact where they pretty much both almost spun each other out.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't have been fun to watch. The big Almirola crash that took out almost half the field.
Yeah, good job, Almirola. I know it's just kind of. It looked like he got pinched or kind of was there.
Yeah.
But still, Not a good start for Almirola's season.
Not at all.
Still,
And then we have William Byron that went and turned Newman.
hey, but Newman came back. It was just like
He
a
did.
180. But
Yeah.
then Chase Briscoe like almost flipped over, like climbed the fence.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When that happened, that's when he got together with Kevin Harvick, right? And I thought Harvick's day was gonna be over if he got him in there a little bit more.
Well, on dirt, since we're going so slow and like it was so like unknown, he would have been. Arrow means nothing, as you saw.
Right.
Like I do iRacing, and they had Bristol Dirt on this week, so I raced some of those races. Literally, you could be down on power and be fine. Like it.
Right.
In my one race, I almost won. I had no hood. Like I was a modified
That's
out
true.
there, and I still ran second. Like it's just about being there, running at the end. Like damage has no weight in this at all. No arrow whatsoever.
And then we had 7 or 8 DNFs.
Yeah, a lot of people. Chastain also, and then I thought I was a really smart pick this week. I'm like I'm gonna take one of the favorites. Dirt favorites, and just have a good solid points day. And then he finishes 34th. I get 3 fucking points from it. The day I'm like, I'm gonna choose a favorite, I get 3 points. And then Brian's driver Bowman also has a struggling day because he literally had no 4th gear. And I'm like, I can gain some points, but no, my dude crashes out on lap 20, takes out Larson as well. That was kind of big, I think, that, the 2 dirt guys got taken out.
Yeah.
Opened up the field a bit for other guys to win.
Which made Larson 29th at the end of that race.
Yeah, and then Christopher Bell, 34th. Yeah, good job. Good pick, Zach. You can't pick smart any time this week. I'm going to give myself a round of applause right here. Taking Kevin Harvick, gets a flat tire last week. Then Alex Bowman gets a flat tire. Then Ryan Blaney gets wrecked in the big one on lap 7. And then I picked Larson a week too early. It's been hell, man. I cannot get a win. And then Almirola Phoenix, I'm taking an underdog pick. He's running top 10. He's going to be up there. And then he gets a pit road speeding penalty.
Yeah.
It's just, these picks, man, I have had zero luck. Like,
Very, very true.
I could be picking like Quinn Houff and probably have better results. Shout out to Quinn.
Hey, you could all of your dark horses, I think, this season, except for one, has more points than your actual winner.
McDowell won the fucking 500, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have picked Newman.
Should have picked Newman.
That could be an interesting thing we could see. Like, if I would have just picked dark horses, what would my point total be, actually? Because you have all my dark horse picks, don't you?
Yep.
So we could literally see. I will guarantee that we would be. I think we might be in the lead.
You might be.
We would be really close though. Instead of like.
I think Vegas would have been your biggest fault with Newman as your dark horse.
Who is all my? I picked Newman twice as a dark horse.
Yeah. You want McDowell, Suarez, Reddick, Newman, Wallace, Stenhouse, Newman.
Honestly,
They've been running pretty decent all year, though.
I would have been honestly probably like way better than I've fucking been.
I mean, we had a fight for the dark horses this week because both of our actual winners were out fairly early. Well, mine wasn't out, but he wasn't running very well. With my pick, William Byron coming in 6th, and your pick, Ryan Newman, coming in 5th, and being 1 point apart. That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fucking. And then we should just pick our dark horses, Brian. Like, what the fuck do we know? Like we're gonna pick dirt regulars. We're gonna 100-point IQ fucking score right here. But
And then
no.
a 15 and a 3.
Yeah. Both our guys sucked.
Which is actually my worst this year.
Yeah, you had freaking 15 points. I'm like, oh, here we go to the front. I text like a little context. I texted Brian when Christopher Bell was second and then Bowman was third. And then 15 seconds later, Christopher Bell spins out, gets wrecked, and I send it back to him and like, fuck me. And then he's immediately out the race. And then I think then Bowman restarts, and that's the restart Bowman starts having trouble. They're like, oh, he doesn't have third gear. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, both of our
It's just an
drivers,
unfortunate week for us.
both of our picks were like, yeah, we're going to pick dirt guys, and then, take the favorites. And
Hey, to be fair, I've had one dark horse pick this year. And that was with Kyle Busch at the 500.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I had Almirola.
Yeah, you did have Almirola that one week.
I'm just going to pick dark horses, Martinsville, we're taking fucking Corey LaJoy. I can't
Let
wait.
Corey LaJoy win it now.
I can't wait till he gets a top 10 somehow, and then the dude I pick finishes 26th. I'm gonna slam whoever.
Yeah, watch. You're gonna pick a dark horse, and your dark horse is gonna be another dark horse, and your second dark horse is actually gonna do better.
No, I'm gonna look at the stats, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, so for running Martinsville at night, who was up there? I'm gonna rewatch the race. I'm gonna go through numbers and be like, okay, they should be good, and then they're gonna be running like top 5, and then God himself is going to rain down a fucking thunderstorm. It's going to electrocute the car. The driver will be fine, but then the car is just going to get electrocuted, flip over,
It's just gonna stop working.
catch fire, and then just sit there on track. They're going to call caution 15 laps later, and then my guy's going to be out the race, and then Brian's dude is going to be fucking third. And he's like, well, I didn't even know. I just picked a number. I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
5, Kyle Larson. He gonna win, and then he gonna finish third. And I'm just like, oh my god, what can I do? I can't even look at numbers. Can't look at Larry Max trends. Who the fuck knows? I'm just gonna look at a number. What's the first number I see?
For Martinsville, you have to do a random number generator.
No, I'm just tell Diamond. I'm gonna be like, give me a number. She'd be like, why? I'm just gonna be like, give me a number. And then I can't wait till she picks a number. I'd be like, I can't use that number. Like, they don't have that number. And then she's gonna pick like 52. And then I'm gonna get a Rick Ware. And then I'll pick Rick Ware. And then he's gonna do better than my actual pick. So I should just pick Rick Ware. We're picking Rick Ware the rest of the year. But other than that tangent, I want to get on another tangent about fucking Fox 8. I know this is a very area specific issue. So in the Cleveland area, which we're based out of, we have Fox 8 for our news and stuff. They did not switch over the fucking news for the race. They're like, oh, head to Fox. So I went to Fox. Fox 8 News. Like, okay, it's the news. They're going to run, maybe a little bit longer. But we're going to get the start of this race. No, it never happened. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. Maybe a little later. So me and Brian watched on a Twitch stream. We're not going to, say the name. But we're just going to say someone on Twitch was streaming it. So we watched it off there, thankfully. And then, I checked. Race was halfway through. I'm like, oh, Fox 8 for sure has it. Still check. Still the news. 6 o'clock news now. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, when I looked on Twitter, I know Bob said something to the people in the Minnesota area who were going to have trouble viewing it because of the trial that was going on.
Right.
But he said that they should have a Fox 8 Plus or something. Or Fox, it should be Channel 9 for them. But we didn't get anything. They just continued doing the news. And we were forced to watch it through a different way, which
Right.
I mean, you hate to do because it should be readily in front of you, but
right. It did. I mean, it really didn't affect it at all. It was fine.
right, right.
But also, shout out to Bob for having that fucking like Channel 8 affiliate in Minnesota covered. Like, I fucking got it covered because I'm Bob Pockrass. Like, who the fuck is that man? What does he do? I want a day in the life of Bob Pockrass. Like, does he just wake up and he's like, all right, we're gonna check all the Fox affiliates, and I'm gonna get fucking updates step by step. I mean, he's got fucking radar guys. He's got Fox 8 affiliate guys. He knows all fucking NASCAR. He can tell you when fucking Joey Logano has a loose lug nut fucking the second it happens. Bob Pockrass is the man. Give that man a fucking, I don't know, give him his own trophy. We should race Kansas, the Bob Pockrass fucking 500 right there. Instead of Bushy McBush Bush. Should be Bob Pockrass. But shout out to that man, Bob. We love you, Bob. But other than that, fucking Fox 8. What the hell? Like, who watches, like, the news? Can't you watch it on the other channel? I want to watch the race. Or at least put on Fox Sports. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, in Cleveland, we have, what is it, 3, 5, 8, 19?
Yeah, news channels.
Yeah, all news channels.
Talking about the same shit. Fucking 24 hours a day. Can't put on a fucking race? Come on, man. Like, it's just stupid. They could have put it on, like, Fox Sports at least. Hey, come on. It's so dumb, but other than that tangent, I got some, takeaways from it. I want to say that was kind of like an old school race, kind of like old school Bristol, because with old school Bristol, you would run the bottom, and you had to bump and run guys to get around them, and it looked like midway through the race, like around stage 2, the bottom was really the preferred lane. It was looking like. So people were, doing bump and runs and stuff like that. It was awesome to see. It was like old Bristol. And then you had to, like, do tire management, which is kind of hard, You see a guy in front of you, you want to push. But then you got to, make sure you don't run out your tires because then you're going to get passed or blow out a tire. So it was cool to see tire management. And then lots of parity, just like this year. Like, we had Daniel Suarez up there. Ryan Newman was top 5, top 10 all day. Eric Jones was up there. It was just cool to see, like, parity as well. Like, smaller teams get a chance to run up there. Chris Buescher was up there, too. I don't know where he finished exactly. And then Bubba. Bubba was fun running 7th before he had a flat tire by Stenhouse. And then even Stenhouse, I mean, I know he's a dirt guy, but he finished 2nd. But it was like old school race, man. Like parody, and then
It was just a lot of fun.
it was. I was a little skeptical about this weekend. Like, I'm like, I want to see how it does. Like, is there gonna be passing opportunities? What the fuck are these cars gonna do on dirt? But
Like we said, we went into it with an open mind.
it was honestly one of the top shows this year. Like, it was just incredible. We got to give NASCAR a big round of applause. They took chance. They were taking a date from Bristol. Like, people were like, whoa, slow down now. Take a date from fucking Texas. But no, we took a date from Bristol. We tried dirt. And I'd say it paid off.
Yeah. I would agree.
And now we got a second date. Dirt's returning next year. That's going to be really interesting to see these fucking next-gen cars off, like, sequential transmission, fucking one lug, like, all fucking high-tech. And then us, we're going to be like, we raced the dirt, dirt, yeah. Like, that's going to be funny to see. But can't wait for that. But, yeah, I give them a lot of credit. Like, they took a chance. They were brave. And, it paid off. The only problem I would have, also it was like a old school race. They had single file restarts, but that was mostly because of the dust. Like, it was kicking up a lot of dust around lap like 150, around there. Maybe the race is a little too long, but
I
I
think
that,
single file might have made it even more fun for like the entire race.
oh yeah, single file. With that, like, gave them like more of a chance to get up there instead of going 2x2.
Right.
But yeah, it was cool to see like single file and then cars going through the dirt and like I watched practice and I was just this is gonna be awesome. Like I was telling Brian, I'm like, yeah, you gotta watch this shit. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, it almost looks like this package is better for dirt than it is for super speedways.
Yeah, it is. This package is better on fucking dirt than mile and a halves. But yeah, it was all in all a good race. Like it was a good show, entertaining. I'm gonna rate it a 90 out of 100. You might say, "Whoa, that's a little," thinking of a great race. Yeah, it was a pretty good race, I would say. I say it gets inflated by bravery and how they pulled it off. I mean, they really had no condition issues except for like a little bit of dust, and then we went to single file and it was fine. So I'm gonna give a big shout out to NASCAR for doing this race, having the guts, and they get a little increase in score, but all in all, I would say 90 out of 100. Good show, entertaining. I was glued to my seat, fucking watching it the whole time. It was awesome.
I gotta agree with you. Honestly, there's not really much to say. It was probably one of the more fun races I've watched in the past couple of years, just overall.
Right.
It was just, I mean, it was a change. It's nice to see a change for once.
Yeah. It was different.
I as well am gonna go with a 90 out of 100. I still think there's some room for improvement. As a matter of fact, we are going to get into some of the news of which may improve it and could have given it that 100 out of 100 if we know for sure that it works,
Right.
So
I would say like a normal race, this probably would have been 70, 75. Pretty solid race. But yeah. I give it the extra score because it was something new, and they really didn't have much trouble. Like the events they had to go through this weekend with the floods, and then everyone wondering about the track conditions, and then we see.
And I mean,
floods.
it wasn't just like one single driver that was just constantly out in front.
Yeah,
I mean, the lead changed so much; it was so nice.
Yeah, it was good to see like changes for the lead and stuff like that, and then the work the track crew. I want to give a big shout out to the track crew as well. Like they they made this race because people are saying 12 o'clock on a Monday. The track's not gonna be ready. Are you fucking crazy? And I'm looking at pictures at 10:30, and the track's like, yeah, we're good to go. See, look at it, and it was good to go. I was like, damn. So shout out to the track crew as well for getting that track all ready, so we didn't have it didn't look foolish of us and like look like we weren't knowing what we're doing. But and you had to add a bunch of S's to the news. But talking about the news, we had a couple insights from Marcus Smith. He owns SMI, who owns NASCAR tracks like Bristol and North Wilkesboro and tracks like that. But he was talking on the Dale Jr. download that maybe within a 5-year time span that Bristol is going to have a roof to cover it so we wouldn't have any raining problems. So that's
part of the news that I was talking about. I think that with a roof, you're making more potential for that track.
It's going to be interesting, what kind of roof? Is it going to be a retractable roof? Or is
it just going to make it a dome?
Because then if they do it a dome, how is that... I know the Chili Bowl is a dome, but then isn't there going to be a lot of, carbon monoxide?
Right.
Stuff like that, coming from the fumes
a lot of dirty
cars.
air.
Yeah. It's going to be... How are they going to filter that out?
Right.
They're gonna have a bunch I'm sure they'll figure it out if they do it. Like I'm sure they're not just like, oh, just slap a roof on Bristol.
Right, because it's not like it's an actual like football sport, where you just slap a dome in there and you're fine.
Right,
But
like there are all those fumes and stuff, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way to filter it out and stuff.
right.
And then talking about Bristol, I'm gonna go into our question that we have. So the question a lot of people they didn't want to see a date of regular Bristol get taken away, but I want to say, should we go to a traditional dirt track instead of Bristol, and then have the spring Bristol be back on pavement like it's been?
That's kind of tough. From what you told me the other day about how usually the spring Bristol gets delayed or sometimes canceled because of the rain and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think if you do a dirt Bristol for the spring series or for the spring race, I think I don't think that there will really be a problem there.
Okay.
Instead of having it go to a traditional dirt track, because then you're either going to have to make room for it and extend the season, or you're going to have to pull one track out.
Right.
So, I mean, just give people what they want, and what they want is Bristol.
I mean, I've seen a lot of hits for Bristol and a lot of misses.
Right.
I think it would be cool if they went to a traditional dirt track. The trucks are gonna go to Knoxville, so I'm gonna see how that race plays out before we do any new dirt tracks and stuff. But yeah, I mean, tying in another question, do we think this weekend was a success? I mean, this weekend was a pretty big success.
It depends on who you ask, though. Because I know a lot of people were very disappointed because it was dirt, and a lot of people don't like dirt. But my opinion, I think it was a success.
The people want, instead of taking a Bristol, this is what I mostly saw. Instead of taking a date from Bristol, they want to see normal Bristol and then see us go to an actual dirt track. Because they don't count Bristol as an actual dirt track because it's literally dirt on concrete. But
right.
I mean, I think they should run this Bristol Dirt. I want to go. 2022, come around. I want to go to Bristol Dirt, dude. I want to see this.
I would just be, I would be kind of intrigued to see what fans would vote out. What track would they say, take this out and replace it with this? Because I know that they're not going to want that second Bristol date gone.
Yeah, they're gonna say, Texas, and then Atlanta. They're probably gonna say too. Those are probably the two main ones I would get. Probably in Michigan as well, or Pocono and shit like that. Well, people hit or miss Pocono, but I would say Texas or even Atlanta now. They'd be oh well, they could be one date, and then we could have 3 Bristol races, and then 2 on pavement, and then 1 on dirt. But I think I kind of like the dirt Bristol. I want to see them next year before I'm all in. I don't want to put all my chips in, but I want to see how they do next year with it. With the information they got this year, they're oh, okay, we can do this different, or this is how we're gonna do this, or this is how we're gonna treat the track and shit like that. Because I mean, this was their first time doing it, so they're just kind of throwing shit at the wall. They're oh, well, maybe this, but they mostly hit on stuff.
And I mean, next gen's almost here too, so
yeah, next gen's
that'll be even more. Be even more fun.
I want to see next gen on dirt. That's we don't even know what they look like, and they're gonna be on dirt next year. Holy shit.
Yeah, we don't even know if they'll run well on the actual track.
Right. But it's gonna be a sight to see. I'm growing towards this Bristol date, the spring date going into the being a dirt. I think it's kind of interesting to change up the season and stuff like that. But I guess
honestly, I think if they do it, they shouldn't do it every year because it'll oversaturate the track itself. So if you're gonna do it, maybe do it every other year.
Yeah, that could be it. I think I think we also should have like at least one dirt race on the schedule. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we can maybe do two if it goes well. You know, that
I
gives
mean,
some parity to
it
the
seems
tracks.
like the fans like it enough,
Yeah, I mean
but
this race was enjoyable. Like both races were enjoyable.
and then that gives the people who don't have dirt experience a chance to get dirt experience.
Yeah, I mean it takes like a lot of people are like, oh, NASCAR drivers are the 40 best drivers in the world. We obviously I'm not going to get in that debate because the getting really technical shit. But I mean, give them like another challenge. Like, hey, you got to race good on mile and a half short tracks, super speedways, dirt tracks, or road courses. Like, you got to race on like 5 different fucking track surfaces. Like, that really shows like a driver's skill.
Right. And that's what it should do.
Yeah, it's like throughout the season, like you're gonna have to, be good on road courses. You can't suck up road courses or super speedways. You're gonna have to get lucky, or dirt tracks. You're gonna have to be good, and road courses and short, like all that, and mile and a halves, and like it's like proving a driver's skill, and it's pretty cool to see like them changing, like them so willing to change. Because if you told me 5 years ago Bristol's gonna be on third, I would have punched you in the face. I've been like, "What are you talking about?" But
And then I mean on top of that, that gives teams like Trackhouse, even though, Suarez didn't know what he was doing, that gives them a chance to win.
mm-hmm.
Not saying that they don't have a chance to win on every other track, but it's just, it's kind of persuading the team to try harder
Yeah,
for the next time.
it like gives them more of a chance because
Right.
I mean we know mile and a half. Like let's be honest, it's gonna be the main teams. It's gonna be Joe Gibbs, Penske, Hendrick,
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick when he wants to show up. Like it's gonna be mostly them teams. Maybe we'll get a couple surprises like a Austin Dillon or Tyler Reddick or Stenhouse or a Newman or a Chris Buescher, like someone like
Right.
that, or a Suarez. Like, but it's mostly gonna be like the bigger teams. I would say 95% of the time. But maybe like super speedways. Anyone's got a chance. We literally see Michael McDowell win the 500.
Right.
And then,
We almost had Newman win it last year until what happened.
yeah, like it gives smaller teams a chance, like them to win 500 or maybe on a road course or, on a dirt track where, aero and engineering doesn't really mean as much.
Right.
Or even a short track like we saw Corey LaJoie was running good last year. Bubba Wallace in the 43 ran good last year. It just, it gives smaller teams like more of a chance. Like, hey, you could run really good here and stuff like that. But I think it's an interesting idea. I'm really interested to see how it will be with next gen.
Right.
Especially,
And I mean, I'm coming from open wheel. So,
this is
I'm not
totally
I'm
out
not
of your-
used to well, I'm not used to them, just like going around in ovals. So, I think it's nice to be able to be like, "Oh, well, I'm not on the open wheel or I'm not only on an oval track." So, I mean, they're going road courses, like you said, they're just kind of doing everything.
Right, they're like a little bit of everything. They're sprinkling it in because we know.
And it's just an argument for the best of the best.
Right, but it's it's better than the fucking 15 mile and a halves that all look the same. We're gonna get some of them. We're gonna be like, but then we get unique tracks like Bristol Dirt or Martinsville or Coda. Like we're gonna see how that is. Or then Coda, like just a month away, we're gonna go to Kansas. Mile and a half. But Kansas is a good track usually. And then we go to Darlington. Like, what the fuck is that? We run one lane up towards the wall. And it's just weird. They do the switching of the tracks,
Right, I mean, you go from Talladega to Kansas to Darlington. Like,
Yeah,
oh boy.
3 totally different tracks. Like, a super speedway, a traditional mile and a half, and then whatever the fuck you want to classify Darlington as. I don't even know what it's Darlington. That's all you need to say. But
And then Dover, Coda. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
Dover, a mile track. Like, does it run like a bigger Bristol? Like, what the hell was that? And then Coda, a road course that no one's been to in NASCAR. Like, we're like, ooh, how was that gonna be?
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be interesting, definitely. But then we also have Marcus Smith talking about North Wilkesboro. I know, people in Reddit or even on this podcast are going to go crazy because North Wilkesboro is getting talked about. Well, they haven't forgotten about it, but I know this hasn't been a question, but I also saw this on Twitter, like a little bit of debate. So North Wilkesboro, like, closed in '96. Well, didn't close, but like NASCAR stopped going to it. Because that's when we were chasing bigger tracks. The boom of the 90s and 2000s, and NASCAR was so popular, and blah, blah, blah. We all know about that. But I want to ask this question to you. What if we took North Wilkesboro and made it a dirt track race? Like a purpose-built dirt track for NASCAR, top 3 series.
In my opinion, I think it wouldn't be bad. It might be nice to see that as the dedicated dirt track.
Because
And I'm glad that you're talking to me and not NASCAR fans, because something tells me that or I shouldn't say NASCAR fans. I should say more diehard NASCAR fans, because I feel like they would be saying North Wilkesboro as dirt. You're out of your mind, you know. But no, I mean that would be interesting. I think they should try something out if they're not going to repave it.
well, fun fact, Brian. Well, North Wilkesboro, they'll totally have to rebuild the whole thing.
Right.
But, fun fact, actually in 1947, when North Wilkesboro first started, it was a dirt track.
Interesting.
So technically, it would be back to our roots.
Hey, I mean that might be something to look forward to be honest.
Yeah, I saw this discussion on Twitter. People were talking, they were pretty okay. I mean, some people are like, no, we got to put money into it, and I would like to see it back on because it's an interesting little track. It's a nice little short track.
I mean, wouldn't you want something from history back?
Yeah, it'd be awesome, but that would be unique. That would be a place to like go. You got to see the North Wilkesboro dirt track, man. And
Right.
it's right around major areas, so then people could come out. So, maybe it's something to look into.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to take a trip to North Wilkesboro just to see a dirt race?
You'd have to. We would go out there. We'd be on scene.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I think we're gonna wrap up here off of that question.
Yeah, I think the only other thing is tomorrow we're gonna figure out how the tires,
Oh yeah,
the
true.
rain tires, are gonna be at Martinsville.
Yeah, they tested it a while back and it didn't go well, but this time they're trying to implement it by like, if this goes well, they said they're gonna try to implement it by Richmond this year.
That's crazy.
They said like the flat track, so we're gonna have like rain tires at Martinsville, Phoenix, and Richmond, and New Hampshire, and like those kind of tracks, like the flat, like short tracks, because they're easier. And then Bob said that they would cut off like a half hour or an hour of track drying, so that could be a plus.
Right.
If that actually works, I mean, we won't have to worry about rain really.
That's-
That could be another, interesting thing. Rain tires on an oval.
Right. I mean, they do it in open wheel.
Yeah, that could be another challenge for them.
Right.
But
Imagine just driving in rain all day. Oh man.
that would be fun. But other than that, I think we're gonna wrap up here. Good episode.
Yep.
It was fun talking about Bristol Dirt. And
Yeah, it was.
talking about some possibilities and stuff like that. But we'll be back next week with a little different episode. We're gonna, preview Martinsville, but probably like we're gonna do something fun. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out during the week.
Probably trash talk about our picks.
Yeah, or I'm just gonna fucking end myself before that week. But yeah, this has been episode 9 of Bristol Dirt review. Next week we're gonna have our preview for Martinsville and do something fun. I hope everyone has a good Easter because we're gonna have a nice Easter weekend off. So it's me signing off. Brian, thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, and I hope you have a good Easter weekend, sir.
You too.